These Zelda games are unholy.
What is up, nerdlings?
Nerdlings.
My lady love, do you even know what this beast of a unit is sitting in front of us?
Just seeing it from the backside, it's a VCR.
Looks like one.
But I can see here that it says CD-i.
The Philips CD-i.
CD Interactive, the imagination machine. Another first from Philips.
A couple of fun facts about the CD-i, real quick.
Okay.
All right. Philips and Sony together created the CD, like the CD. And it was Philips that coined the term compact disc. This was all before they became rivals and Nintendo played Sony off of Philips. And then, yeah. Anyway, also the CD-i stands for Compact Disc Interactive. That is because this was meant to be a multimedia console, a multimedia entertainment system. The idea is that it would play movies, it would play music, and the bonus was it could also play games. Keep that in mind, because this is not a games machine first. The story goes that in 1989, Nintendo and Sony signed a deal for the Nintendo PlayStation, but the Big N became paranoid that this was Sony's attempt to wedge themselves into the gaming biz. You see, Sony would have held a lot of control over the disc format, the software, the movies, music, and Nintendo was already unhappy with the expensive proprietary audio chip that they used for their Super Nintendo. And it basically felt like they were being used as props for Sony's own advancement. I'd even seen it said Ken Kutaragi actually did view this as the first step towards his engineering dream of making consoles. Seeing a more favorable deal with Philips, who would give Nintendo that software control they yearned for, and being one of Sony's largest competitors, the daytime level drama unfolded at the 1991 Consumer Electronics Show. Sony showcased their SNES CD, affectionately called the PlayStation, while the very next day, Nintendo revealed their surprising bedfellow, Philips, taking the audience and Sony by surprise. By the time the Sega's Mega CD began showing poor reception, Nintendo scrapped the add-on idea entirely. But upon dissolving the partnership with Philips, they did license out a few of their first-party characters. That is a whole other story, though, because today we are celebrating our 300th plus items in our Zelda 1000 collection with the Unholy Trinity.
Full collection stop. These Zelda games are unholy.
These are the faces of evil. You must conquer each.
I guess I'd better get going.
The bastard triplets that nobody invites to any holiday gathering.
Oh my god!
We're talking about the Zelda CD-i
I
games.
feel like only true fans know about these.
At this point, I think their infamy
You think?
precedes them. But
Okay.
you'll have to let us know in the comments
Yeah.
down below.
That guy creeps me out.
I think he's kind of interesting.
Now get into CD-i starting at $2.99 with 3 titles free, including Burn Cycle.
Link, The Faces of Evil, and Zelda, The Wand of Gamelon came out in, get this, October 10th. Is there anything special about that date?
No.
Anything special about the date? Anything special about the date?
Oh, our anniversary!
Yeah, our anniversary. But that was back in 1993. While Link to the Past had released in Japan in 91 and saw a return to form to the top-down perspective of the NES original, these games followed the action-oriented side-scrolling of Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link. Keep in mind, again, that the CD-i was not a game console first and foremost, but an entertainment center that also played games. Hence the many technical limitations and severe lag. To be fair, they broke ground in utilizing animated cutscenes. Those outsourced Russian animations are silly at best and simply hard at worst to watch or listen to. But that's another first. Voice acting. unfortunately.
My hero! Won't you please jump across that little old chasm and cut my daddy's chains? Pretty please, have a heart.
Wand of Gamelon is actually the very first time you get to play as Princess Zelda instead of Link.
Nice.
Ridiculous story and animations aside, honestly, the gameplay truly makes these games a burden to play. Jump controls and unreliable hitboxes, combined with repetition, often due to frequently respawning and hard to hit enemies, mar the experience most of all. The music, however, isn't without its charm. Much of this may be due to neither Nintendo or Philips offering much input throughout development, as well as the idea that the top-down view wouldn't be approved by Philips. But with that being said, 8 months later, we got Zelda's Adventure, the second time you got to play as Princess Zelda, and this time with glorious live action cutscenes.
There will be no more viewing tonight.
Let me tell you something too. This game right here, pretty much doesn't matter when you look it up. There's just a little bit of value to this game. I mean, what do you think about that?
I think that's my cruise right there.
We'll be keeping both eyes on this one, thanks.
Someday.
With level design more similar to the NES original and Link to the Past, you explore an overworld and visit dungeons and other interiors. The backgrounds were taken from video and photo footage from the LA area and Hawaii, and just eats up the RAM, hence the slow scrolling. For the motion capture of human characters, they used in-office staff and hung a mirror on the ceiling with the camera on the floor pointed at it. Yeah, it's already getting messy. An office wall was painted blue, then clay props and monsters were made and filmed against it in stop-motion animation for the blue screen effect. All this effort, yet the hardware's limited memory worked against them, and thus the game loads so slowly between screens, and it kills the player's gaming momentum. The game was tested for 2 years, longer than it took to develop, and loads of music was composed, more than what was ultimately used. And even then, flaws made it to where music and sound effects couldn't load at the same time. The visuals were called blurry and digitized. The controls cumbersome. The game itself is excruciatingly difficult. If not for these reasons and long load times, then the illogical design. What was a well-meaning attempt to recapture the magic of the original title will be remembered as a jerky, sloppy, and unplayable disaster best left only to the most die-hard Zelda fans, if not simply forgotten at all. I would like to add a little something here. I want to make it clear. This game right here was always my holy grail game. Very tip top. This is the game that I never, ever thought I would actually own. And honestly, I had begun to accept that.
Yeah.
I was so close to ordering a full-on reproduction of it, just for fun, just to have it.
Just so you could at least experience it at once.
Right. And then one of our nerdlings actually reached out to me, made me an offer I couldn't refuse, a price I was happy with, and I finally got this in my collection.
And you still have both your kneecaps.
That's always a bonus. And both my thumbs. Initially, we had an idea for a video talking about Holy Grail games, and they even sent me a clip that I never got to use because we never put the video together. But I would like to use that clip kind of in remembrance of such a monumental occasion. So I'm going to pop that in right now. And I just want to say beforehand, thank you again so much for making this happen, because I never dreamed I would have this game, much less all three of the most terrible games of all time, probably.
And as you can see, it's still in its forever home.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Hello nerdlings, it is CD-i story time. There is a point to the story. You may have to wait till the end, but I'll get there. Now, I've been fascinated with the Zelda CD-i games ever since I knew of their existence. Now, I purchased my Philips CD-i 220 model for $40. It was untested, but we know what that means. It didn't work. When I opened it up, all that I found was that the elastic had fallen off the disc tray. It was just loose from use.
That's what she said.
The first game I purchased was Zelda the Wand of Gamelon, $40. That was a really good deal because that game was worth a lot more than $40 even at the time that I purchased it. And another time I bought a CD-i game lot which had Link the Faces of Evil. I was able to sell all the other games in the lot for the price that I bought the lot at. So Link the Faces of Evil cost me nothing. Now, Zelda's Adventure was a little different. I paid the going rate at the time. I was fine with that because of the savings I made on the CD-i console and the other two Zelda games. And that was pretty much the zenith, the pinnacle of my gaming and collecting at that time. And I will be honest that I actually did try to sell Zelda's Adventure on eBay earlier on in the year. I didn't know anybody at the time that had a Philips CD-i that was actually looking for the game. The sale ended up falling through, and with time found out that it was a buyer's remorse type situation. In the meantime, I ended up doing a Zelda CD-i video, just going over how the games came about and the development of the games. And Tom actually commented on that video, and he was saying that he has Zelda the Wand of Gamelon and Link the Faces of Evil, and that he's on the look for Zelda's Adventure, but the price just keeps shooting up. So looking for something that was within a reasonable price. I kind of left it at that. And it wasn't until this recent purge that I was going through some games and there was Zelda's Adventure, and I immediately thought of Tom. And I was more than excited when he got back to me, because I knew it was going to a household that would appreciate the game, and I'd rather do that. And it was never about money, owning expensive games or the notoriety of having expensive games. Yes, I really love the fact that I own the CD-i games, but it was for a totally different reason. It was something I never thought I would ever obtain those things. It's just really just sharing the love of gaming, and that's what this story is kind of all about. So I just hope that the game brings you as much joy and excitement as it once brought me. Once the crown jewel of my collection, I just don't have that emotional connection to that game anymore. So it was a perfect opportunity to pass it along to you. I hope you thoroughly enjoy it. Actually, I should say though, if people are interested, if I did get rid of my CD-i stuff, no, I kept the console and my favorite game of the three, and that is the Wand of Gamelon. This is a guilty pleasure. I really love this game. So yeah, I kept that one. So anyway, guys, I love you. And so until next time, I'll see you.
Despite this dark Hylian history,
For collection stop, these Zelda games are unholy.
the Terrible Three live on with a spiritual successor.
Why?
And we had to have it. And because of what it is it definitely goes into the count, even though it's not a Zelda game, because it was obviously inspired by Zelda. I'm putting it in the count.
Okay.
This is the big box edition of Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore. From 2024, this 2D action platformer even brings the cheesy animated cutscenes along for the ride. Seth Dopley Fulkerson actually made PC remakes of Faces of Evil and Wand of Gamelon, but they are unavailable for download in his effort to avoid a cease and desist by Nintendo. I'm sure you guys can still find them though, but anyway, his company, CD-i Software.
Look. On the front of the box.
Do you get it?
It says CD-i Software, and it's an acorn with an I in it. And it's spelled S-E-E-D-Y. It's funny.
They actually brought in a lot of ties to the originals, with returning voice actors.
The evil Dimer has returned. It's up to Princess Arzette to defeat him.
As well as some of the original artists.
Wait a minute. You're telling me people were willing to admit they were in the first games by coming back and reprising the same roles?
Secretively.
Okay.
Unrealized.
Okay.
Gameplay is much more improved, though how easy was that, am I right? There's a bit of backtracking, so expect some pseudo-Metroidvania vibes, but the linearity may wear thin. Combat feels limited and a bit clunky, and hitboxes still seem to be an issue, just nowhere near as bad as the CD-i games.
Here to challenge me!
Featuring hand-painted backgrounds, animated scenes,
my goods will improve your fortunes, so long as you improve mine.
An outstanding original score, and talent from previous interactive adventures. Good! This will be a journey you won't want to miss. Arzette, the Jewel of Faramore.
Okay, at long last, somewhere there's a Steve Craig rolling in his bed.
Did I hear a precious seal getting cracked?
Ooh, pictures.
Well, here's a nice touch. I can confirm the sleeves that come with the CD-i games are the same front and back. The sleeve that comes with Arzette here
is not.
Nice. That's nice to see for a change. Okay, we got everything out of the box. All the plastic has been taken off of this stuff. Not even deep diving into this, I'm super happy with this. First of all, as per usual, this is a big box set. So even though there's multiple items, just one count?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. Let's start fairly simple. You've got the original soundtrack. It looks like there are 33 tracks on here, meaning this is not one of those sampler CDs. We've got the full soundtrack. And I really hope the music is as decent, as tolerable as the CD-i games were.
Well, this thing was pretty cool. You put it together yourself, but it's a very cool layered scene from it. So you have your static background, and then the background in the front that kind of moves, and then your character that moves. So
what a fun display piece.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
What do you think of the little cell figure right there and how he looks?
It's like my cousin Vinny. Hey, Zelda, do you want to come in here and buy some beans from me? Come on, Zelda, come on.
Do you really have a cousin, Vinny?
I don't know, probably. I don't know.
We do have the game itself, which is great because
it comes in a slip cover.
It has the slip sleeve, and the back of it, even though it doesn't match the back of the game case, the back is very much reminiscent of the CD-i cases. So that attention to detail is all over the place. It's a brand new game. What are you going to do?
My game.
And there's artwork on the inside. Not exactly like a reversible cover, but just something on the inside versus some of those Switch games that you open up and it's like there's nothing back there.
And then a little tiny manual.
A what?
A manual, and it's color. It actually says things.
Wow. Amazing. Although,
look, guys, it proves that you can put a manual in the game.
And if you don't want to use the Switch case, they actually made a CD case.
That's great.
Just like
That's
the CDI
fun.
ones. And again, it's got a slip sleeve. This time it is exactly the same front and back, just like those original ones. And when you open it up,
that's fun.
It holds the
little
Switch
spot there.
cart.
That's
so
great.
instead of like a CD spindle.
Then it came with a very thick art compendium book. That's
Nice.
really cool, really detailed, full color pictures and some information in there. And even in the middle, there's like a little catalog if you want to buy some stuff from them.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It shows a bunch of the other covers from other games.
Mhm.
A lot of that concept art that's like really cool if you're having a lot of fun with a game that you love to kind of follow the history of
Look
its
at that
development.
face.
I love how it's got like those thick jagged lines like something you would draw in Microsoft Paint. Looks like we have a big old poster here. It's a map.
You love your maps.
Oh my gosh, I love maps. And it is so on point for the maps in the CDI games. That is great.
Then we got a nice pixelated lapel pin of the little lady.
Oh, that's fun. That's really
very
neat.
cute.
So, out of the things that came from the big box, what do you think was your favorite piece?
I would have to say it's probably between this scene here and the CD case, because that's really cool and clever. I don't see that very often. If I've never seen it, I don't know if they've done it before for anything else. But I just thought that's cool and clever. If you're very nostalgic and you like to, have things old school like that, just be careful if you're getting rid of your CD collection that you don't accidentally get rid of your Switch game.
Okay, so there is one other thing that goes with this question. Because it is themed to this game, would you use this in the Zelda count or no?
That's a tough call because you could buy this from them separately in gray, but you could only get the pink one with the bundle.
Future Tom's waiting to find out whether or not he's putting that rupee up there.
I guess we can count it.
Tell you what, we're going to count it, and you guys can let us know in the comments below if you think it's cheating to do this.
I mean, it is a special edition, just like a special edition, Wavebird or Wiimote or Switch controller.
So this is the Arzette themed Faramore Fuchsia controller.
I love that color. That's awesome.
Now, the interesting thing
Pink
is,
and purple together.
This was pretty much the standard controller for the Philips CDI, like this layout, which is why some of the games were a lot more difficult to play.
Phasers on stun.
That's where this controller comes in handy because it's much more of a typical video game controller. But this was also serving to be a remote for your system as well. And it just also came with the ability to work on games. Kind of like DVD players.
Yeah.
When you used to be able to play like games on the interactive menus and everything, and you had to just use the DVD remote.
I think it's cool. But I also feel like I'm on Star Trek with it, so.
Spot! There's something wrong with the animations here. I don't think Link should be talking like that.
Hey, William Shatner says he never talked like that.
All right, nerdlings, thank you so much for joining us on this super long quest of seeing if we have 1,000 Zelda items in our collection and sharing with you the unholiest of trinities of all time, the CDI games, but then also taking a look at the big box Arzette from Limited Run Games, the special controller. Almost like a microphone too. Wow, I'm trying to sing you guys a song and she just vaporizes me.
I had it on stun.
Anyway,
This
guys,
is not my first ray gun.
please let us know down in the comments below what you thought of any of this stuff. If you picked up Arzette or if you at least tried it, if you've played the CDI games before, and stick with us. We're going to get there slowly but surely. 1,000 Zelda games. Let's go. Bye, nerdlings.
Bye-bye, nerdlings.
These Zelda games are unholy.
And just remember though, wielding the Unholy Triforce with great power comes great responsibility.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Let's do this. But that's another first. Versed? Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this. Because I don't want you to come home one day and be like, I booked a cruise, and be like, wait a second. How? Okay.
It's gonna piss me off if it's my Disney cruise.
Anyway. Okay, ready?
Yeah. Don't kill the dog.
Bonk. As well as some of the... They actually brought in a lot of ties to the originals with return... You gotta get the fist. You gonna get this right. Stop. Stop. Stop biting my mic. I looked at it, he's got it in his mouth, and he's like, ah.
I forgot all about this thing.
Ugh, why'd you do that?
I just saved you from Ganon.
You did not.